Well, then maybe I'll go to you, Carla, with this next question around performance urgency and brand equity.
I see brands relying more on peer-to-peer recommendations, forums such as Reddit, Discord, and then building out merchant communities where they can have the brand building, building the trust with the consumers, and driving engagement, conversions, everything else.
I think with organic traffic in decline, and this is just my hypothesis, not necessarily true, but I think that organic traffic is probably going to vanish on a lot of these platforms in the future.
I'd say SEO, especially with everything going in towards these AI generated or these AI interfaces, whatever we're going to call them here. It's going to be shifting resources from driving typical SEO to building for these LLMs and creating content that the LLMs will then surface.
I think a lot of brands are concerned with how they get that visibility, where content even fits in within those AI focused and AI centered interfaces.
You're going to have to get creative as a brand and reach many different places to be picked up and to be prioritized.
But if the tools are there and there's a form of accuracy that we haven't had before that AI is empowering, like it's a fabulous way to build trust and build your community. To take that question even a level higher and thinking about the board level or the CMO role, I'm always curious from seats like the ones you sit in. It's also all this additional context that I think the AI interfaces have allowed for, which is, there's additional context that is now able to be shared around buying patterns.
It's all about, I think this word is so overused, but the authenticity and the relationship of the creator with the consumer. So it's really about the relationship between the creator and the consumer and how much they're trusted, respected, and actually can drive value.
I think traditionally it was like you follow where the money is if you're a creator, and now creators have so much authority to taste make and curate the brands that they work with.
And I think it's like in everything we do as a company and everything our customers do with consumers, I think that there is this tension of like, we want to be more personalized because we think it drives conversion.
I think that we have started at Sovrn, at least, just trying to differentiate between just influencers and creators. And I guess that's kind of a little bit about the future where I see it. I see weighting much more heavily on the true authentic creators. Again, a reused word, rather than the influencer.
What advice do you have for brands now to set up for future success in being included in those LLM results, which we touched on a tiny bit, but we just barely scratched the surface earlier?
And so if I'm a brand right now, I'd probably be focused on creating content that is contextually relevant to whatever your product is. Let me create a bunch of content around that. And then hopefully that will live somewhere where it's being fed into the LLMs and then, I guess, raised to the consumer in a contextually relevant way.
Talking about the brand to all the different audiences in a unique way, and then finding the distribution method that's most appropriate for each one of those.
Like, how do you show up in a meaningful way for everybody's specific needs, hyper-personalized, but remain consistent to a brand voice and brand North Star?